This is Talk Star Wars, the official podcast of talkstarwars.co.uk. Hey everyone, welcome to Talk Star Wars. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And we are here at Star Wars Celebration 2017 in Orlando. And this week's episode of the podcast is going to be slightly different because obviously the guys aren't with us. It's just Rob and myself.
Yes, Robcast.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. And we've been joined, well, pretty much both days so far by Ash from Skyhoppers. So we just wanted to do a brief intro to this podcast so that you understand what it's about, what you're about to hear. Because the recording that's coming next was from our first night in Orlando.
Yes.
And we're all a little bit worse for wear.
And yes.
And we just realised that things weren't going to play out quite the way we had hoped, didn't we?
Yes, but don't worry, it does get better. It's not
it's not a negative fest, but there's a couple of moments in there where we may appear to be both tired and bummed out, but don't.
Yes, and then again, that was from we were a little punch drunk from both of us traveling internationally, and then being excited from staying up all night the night before, and then staying up all night to get into it was just tired. It was
very, very tired, yeah. So, yeah, what we're going to do, or what you'll probably hear me explain this away in the clip, you'll have a full intro, which includes Ash in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to just post together a bunch of different bits of audio from the weekend, and I will endeavour to get this up on the Monday. So if you're listening to this now, clearly I've been successful.
Yes.
And you can hear little snippets of our adventure over this weekend at Celebration. You'll probably know most of what we know from YouTube, which is unfortunate, but we'll give you our take on it from our eyes on the ground.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, right, so here we go. We're going to go back in time to day 0 when we were joined by Ash.
By Ash and tired Rob.
And very tired Mark. So get your fill of Star Wars Celebration goodness on this week's episode of Talk Star Wars. Welcome to Talk Star Wars Celebration. I'm Mark.
I'm Rob.
I'm Ash.
And you're you've got to think of one on the fly.
I'm the other nerf herder on this podcast here. I think I've used that before.
Well, you can actually say you're the American on this podcast.
I am the American on this podcast, I am.
Yeah, that is true.
True.
So this is day 1 of our Star Wars Commonwealth trip to Star Wars Celebration Orlando.
Yes.
And so far, it's been a disaster.
I think everybody's going to be relieved knowing they're not missing out on much.
Yeah.
This evening, for starters, it's a travel day. We
Yeah.
were all up extremely early, and of course, super excited last night. So nobody got any sleep, and now we are at almost 9:30 Eastern time, and we're all exhausted. And we just visited the queue for the 40th anniversary panel. Did you want to mention?
Yeah, well, look, the reason for going, well, it was twofold, really, wasn't it? For a personal and quite selfish reason, I wanted to get my media passes so that I knew I was set for the 4 days. But also we wanted to see if we could get in and do the sleepover.
Right.
Which seemed like a surefire way to be at the front of those queues tomorrow and get to the 40 Years of Star Wars panel. But all we found was a never-ending queue of people and no way for me to get my passes, so that's going to have to be tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think I gotta say, for Americans, wow, you just Ash, I don't know, they're diehards. It's just unbelievable.
Making me look bad.
No, they're making you look
Not
good.
making me look good, but...
So actually, you were keen on doing the overnight,
Yeah.
the sleepover.
Yeah. Well, because I wanted to get into the panels, and I figured that was the only way to do it, really. But I guess not.
Well, for some
people.
For a lucky couple of thousand, it looks like.
Yeah, and it actually, because we were all prepared to do it, and we were all prepared. Yeah, I know it sounds insane, but we have traveled all this way, and when we finally got there and we realized, you know what, we're going to be so far behind, we'll be watching the video screens anyway, and we will be in the room and we'll be in the atmosphere, like in the conference, in the convention center.
Yeah.
So we'll have the vibe of, oh, did you see the trailer, or did you see the news that dropped? We just won't be in the room.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but yeah.
I'm still hoping against hope that I might get the sort of luck that I had last year in Europe, where we knew the queuing overnight was a thing, the sleepover was a thing. So we just casually rolled up 4 deep at 8 o'clock in the morning on every day and got every wristband we needed and got into every panel we wanted. Somehow. I don't know how. We got very, very lucky.
Yeah, because you're the only one here that has celebration experience.
Yeah.
But it's the watered down version. It's the 1 cal diet alternative to that I experienced.
Well, we're learning. America doesn't do anything small.
That is true. As an American, I can attest to that. As an American from Texas, I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah. So, how does it, on a scale of 1 to infinity, how desperately disappointed are we?
I think we were joking before we sat down here tonight. We're like, well, this is going to be some podcast. We're very, very
tired,
down in the dumps, and then you're disappointed and trying to be the optimistic or the look on the bright side. Yeah, we're all here and we're all enjoying our time. It hasn't been a waste. It's getting over that. Oh man, I want to be in that room.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'm disappointed, but I'm not like gonna go cry about it or anything like that. I mean, it does suck. I mean, it really there's no other way to put it. It really sucks, But
I was talking to somebody this morning on the plane, and they were going, "Oh, this is crazy. You're going to line up all night." And I said, "You know what? Actually, it's kind of okay, because if you're a big enough fan, this is one of those things that didn't separate the people. If you're here, and if they were selling these wristbands, you can see people going online. Oh, well, I got money. I'm going to buy 10 of them, and then I'm going to make money off it, or I'm going to." I'll go just because I can afford to throw away money. Now you're having fans, regardless of, it's not like they came here this weekend, they bought their tickets for celebration, and now if they're just diligent enough, they can go see the big panel. It's not exclusive. It's not, so that's nice. We weren't as diligent as.
Yeah, I mean, we went for dinner, didn't we? And was it Dan Solo sent you that message?
Yeah.
Or was it you, Rob? Someone sent a message saying there was 200 people.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine from high school, from way, way, way back when, and we haven't seen each other in years, but we saw on Facebook, oh, you're going to be here, that's great. So we started messaging back and forth, and we're in the middle of our pre-dinner beers, and they said, oh, we're 200 deep already. And it was like, what, 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it does suck, though. Hopefully we'll have better luck with The Last Jedi and other stuff like that. Hopefully.
Yeah. But we are going to try tomorrow morning. We're going to get up nice and early. We got to get Mark has to get his media passes, and we're going to go, and we're going to...
Yep.
Why not? Give it a go.
Yeah, we're definitely aim to get into the show anyway. I mean, it is disappointing for me, and I might actually cry about it, Ash. Coming all this way... And going to the expense of coming all this way.
Yes.
And then not even being in with a chance.
Well, I think the disappointing thing is it's not like we're gonna even. This is going live straight to YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah. All the major panels are going to be live streamed as well.
Exactly. So we could.
They might build in a delay this year though. After last year.
Yeah. So we're gonna. So anybody sitting at home or anybody who hasn't come is gonna see it when we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just see it on a screen closer.
Yeah.
To the room.
It would be nice, I think, because it's going to be the full trailer, I suspect, as well. When it hits, whether that's tomorrow or the next.
The buzz will be great, but then also too, and it hasn't been all bad. What did you were on the plane today, or who did you meet up with Wedge?
Oh yeah, Dennis Lawson was on the same flight, and we went through immigration together. Dennis Lawson and his wife, and then we dropped somebody off at the hotel. I forget what the hotel name was, and Peter Mayhew was sitting there, outside in his chair. So
you saw Wedge and you saw Peter Mayhew, and you're.
So I'm done. I can go
you're
home
in
now.
Orlando. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it because we're all this excitement building up to it, and now we're here, and now we're actually in Orlando, and once we get over this little setback, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that we're all like here in the. I mean, we've known each other for a while. We've talked for a while, and I've been on various podcasts with other people in the Commonwealth. But it's been awesome just to meet you guys. And I mean, I'm getting the chance to meet my co-host, who I've never actually met in person too. So that's a good thing as well.
And the Rogues are here, and I know
Rogues
Jamie's around as well. And then we've got there's some Talk Star Wars listeners here. So Dan Solo's here, and Scoldren from Roku Depot. He's going to be here. Is Jay coming over?
Yep, Jay. I just found out a few weeks ago. Jay lives an hour away from my house.
Really?
In Canada. Yeah.
Wow, it's such a small world.
So, we'll probably meet up here, and I mean, I could drive to his house.
Yeah. I think to me now it's going to be less about. When I landed this afternoon, I thought the way this would work for me was I'd get into these panels, and I'd experience these panels with you guys, and then we'd come out afterwards and we'd record podcasts and YouTube videos and write blog posts. And I think everything about that will be the same.
Yeah, of
without
course.
the actually being in the panel business. We'll be somewhere, I think there's a Galaxy stage, and you can go and you can watch the panel live on screen.
Yeah.
So if we can't get into the main hall, that might be the thing to queue up for the bands to get that.
Oh, absolutely.
So at least we see it as it happens.
Yeah, and again, it's not. By all means, this has been amazing. Like I think, especially for Mark and I, like we're in a foreign country to us. So it's a huge. There's and for me, I live an hour north of Buffalo, New York, but the subtle differences are very glaring to me.
Yeah, I mean, Orlando is a lot different from New Mexico too, so I'm feeling to a much lesser extent, but it's still there.
Yeah, I think there's probably more Brits per square inch here than you've ever seen before in your life.
We've heard a lot of accents. So.
Every other person that came in that restaurant tonight was a Brit. I could tell from the football shirts. And the gang tattoos.
So what are we all looking forward to tomorrow? Aside from, let's put the panel aside and
ladies first, Ash.
You know what? If we can't, if it works out that we can't get into the 40th anniversary panel, my silver lining to this is that Timothy Zahn's doing a signing at the same time tomorrow at the Del Rey booth. So if I can meet Timothy Zahn and have him sign something for me, it won't quite make up for this, but it'll be close enough, I think.
That's good. I'm glad you got fullback because I have no fullbacks. I was talking to someone on one of the Talk Star Wars listeners on one of the social platforms. I can't remember what because my brain is literally mush today. But the conversation was, what else are you looking forward to? And I said, I'm not looking past the 40th panel on one day, the Last Jedi on the next day, Rebels, and then the closing ceremony. Right. Everything else hasn't even popped up on my radar. I couldn't even tell you what the rest of the schedule is.
It's just in my personality to have contingency plans for everything. So I was like, okay, I can't get in here because I figured we might not be able to.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll do this, you know.
Yeah, it was, again, for me, it was, I had it in the back of my head. Once we started getting the news about sleepover, oh boy. And then, I almost mentally prepared for it. I was really prepared to, okay, we're going to come, we're going to sleep over, okay, that's fine, we're going to line up. But just because we had that, can you imagine not knowing?
Yeah.
And then us hopping off the plane and running down to the convention center and then seeing that.
Yeah.
And like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, that's the lineup. Oh, for what? For tomorrow. Oh, yeah. You know.
Yeah. It'll still be amazing, though. We're still here. This is still something that's, I've been looking forward to for a really long time. This is a bump in the road, a pretty big bump,
That's an unfortunate loud noise, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
The HVAC just...
Yeah, this is weird, too, because we're not recording with our own...
Yeah, not recording with microphones and screens separated.
Yes, and headsets.
Yes, and headsets and,
Okay, so predictions for tomorrow, then. What do we think let's do a quick round table. What do we think we're in store for tomorrow? Whether we get to experience it firsthand or not.
Oh, it'll be first time. We'll just be in the other room.
Yeah.
Just pretend, you know what, while it's going on, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And, I was there, I was just in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we might get a Last Jedi trailer tomorrow. It seems to be kind of what everybody's been saying. I don't know about that, though. We're going to get some kind of news at that 40th anniversary panel, a new animated something or a new movie maybe. Maybe they'll announce an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, who knows.
That's a good point, because they've made a big deal out of saying don't miss it, haven't they? Whether you're there or you can be near a screen,
right?
Do not miss it.
Well, and also they're bumping up their YouTube numbers too, I think.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss this, and then...
Yeah, I mean, they've been tweeting about it constantly lately.
Yeah.
Just like... And they did the Star Wars show thing, the YouTube channel was a Star Wars show thing.
Yes.
And they were pimping it out there and trying to get people to, listen to it live.
That's the last time I saw it was... was that today?
I think it was today, actually,
The one I saw last week, they did it as well. They
did it as well.
Do not miss it. And that's when I started thinking, this has to be big, because initially I thought, it's George. And then I saw Harrison had gotten a flight in to Orlando, so I thought, well, that's Harrison and it's George.
Right.
And I thought maybe Ewan as well, and I thought maybe announcements, but it has to be.
I heard that Ewan McGregor got a flight in as well the other day.
Well,
I heard it from somebody. Maybe, I don't know.
Surprised me.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those, it's hard to say, because all these people could be here and Hayden Christensen, and all these people could be here just for the fact that they were a part of Star Wars somewhere down the line, and they're just here to celebrate the 40th. But, Star Wars fans, we like to, they might
there is a lot of that in there in this fandom, but I do think there's more to it, because they have said, some outlets said, you've waited 40 years for this.
Yes.
And I mean, I can't imagine they'd bring out, Kathleen Kennedy and all those people to do this big thing. Kathleen Kennedy's probably a busy person.
Yeah.
I can't imagine she's like... she's the CEO of Lucasfilm, so I imagine she's pretty busy. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're going to announce something big. I feel like it might be an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but that might just be me being overly optimistic. I think that's what I want more, so that's why I'm kind of maybe seeing things that aren't necessarily there.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I really want that, but I'm not sure that's enough. I'm not sure that's big enough.
I know what you're saying. But it could be, what was the Good Morning America? Remember their Omaze announcement?
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic announcement.
Yeah.
And it is a great cause, and what they're doing, anybody that hasn't heard, they're doing where you buy, you can enter into, you donate, and then you enter into a draw, and then you can go to Skywalker Ranch, or you can be at the premiere for Last Jedi, or be in the Han Solo movie. And it's fantastic. On its own, it's great. But because they let that news out 3 days before Celebration, it's like, oh, here comes the trailer. Here comes this. It was almost like let down.
Yeah.
Because we hyped it up so much. It's like, oh, what's this big announcement going to be happening? And then now, it's like, it is a fantastic announcement on its own. But in the shadow of Celebration,
I kind of figured it would be something like that. When they said there was a big announcement, I'm like, but Celebration's like 3 days away. So I didn't presume that they were going to do anything, really.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that because I wasn't seeing it firsthand, I was just picking it up on the Twitter feed and in the Facebook group. And I said I think it might be them announcing that the trailer is going to be at Celebration.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's all I thought it was. It's like a trailer for the trailer, or a tease for the trailer.
Right.
Like kind of what they did with the Rogue One one, where they did like
Yes.
the one shot of the Death Trooper, and then
Yeah,
it's like
exactly,
trailer coming
yeah. It
next
was
week
like
or tomorrow or
11
whatever.
seconds.
Yeah.
I thought it might be something like that. Then it was the Omaze thing. But the thing I keep getting pulled back to is someone saying this is what you've waited 40 years for. And to me, I've waited 40 years to see Luke Skywalker again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah.
And you and I can honestly say we have been waiting for 40 years,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I can't quite say that, but
I've literally every time, well, since the credits roll on A New Hope, that's everything I've looked forward to, seeing Luke in action again
Yep.
in every single movie, and I know Ben would agree.
Ben would definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm excited to see Luke Skywalker too. I know I've said in the past that Luke is not my favorite Star Wars character, but I think I mean, without a doubt, I'm going to lose it if he talks in the trailer or we get a shot of him You know, because you can't not love Luke Skywalker, and it really is. Star Wars, the original trilogy, is really about Luke.
Well, that
more so
was
than anybody else.
I can honestly say everybody in the playground was either Luke or Han,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and your sister was Leia.
Yeah.
I was Leia.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
That was just so to have this coming back, and now we know Han had his thing. Obviously, we got the Carrie Fisher stuff, like because of what's happened with her, but now everybody's laser focused on Luke. And back to the Omaze thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think Daisy Ridley is going to regret asking the winner of the Skywalker Ranch to bring her as the guest?
Yeah. Ask me.
Yeah.
That's going to wear thin really quickly.
Yeah, she's going to really not. Yeah, I'm sure she'll have no problem being asked.
I bet she's been to Skywalker Ranch. Like, she was trying to play it like she hadn't been there, but
Yeah.
I imagine she's been there.
Well, you know the Star Wars fanboys. You can imagine.
Yeah.
your starlet says, "Please take me to Skywalker Ranch."
Yeah.
Well-
She might have a special announcement tomorrow
Yeah,
to sort of
I
recant that statement.
I was kidding.
Yeah. Please leave me alone now, fanboys.
So is there like anything else besides The Last Jedi that sounds like particularly interesting to you guys? Like the Carrie Fisher tribute one. I think I'm gonna try and make.
Yeah,
like I
I'm
said,
very interested in that.
there's a thing. I think it's tomorrow. It's like a Star Wars trivia show with like Chuck Wendig and Timothy Zahn. That looks pretty fun.
Ah.
So.
Yeah, and that's aside from once we get over this initial disappointment. Like the weekend is so like I know up north, like if you even on Toronto on a larger con, if you said you had that Timothy Zahn, Chuck Wendig, and then you had the Carrie Fisher tribute, that would be the only two things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now these are like, oh, is that happening too? Oh, I guess I might walk into that room. Like, and it's.
My only concern with the Carrie Fisher thing is I think I might lose it if they start.
Yeah.
They only have to play one slow motion shot of Carrie with some orchestral score, and I'll be gone.
They'll probably play the Leia theme, and that's no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of disappointing. But there's so much stuff going on at Celebration. I mean, I'm trying to be overly optimistic because that's generally my disposition about a lot of things. But.
Well, I think I said to you, Rob, yesterday when I said, "Well, we'll play it by ear," and that's not good for me because I like to know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it so that I can build it. And having the experience of it last year, I know that when I got what I wanted, that was all I got. I didn't get time to do anything else. So having two major panels a day, I think day one was Rogue One, and I think the first one was Mark Hamill, and then in the afternoon I think it was Rogue One. And we got both of those panels and didn't get time to do anything else all day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's all we did. We got there and we got our wristbands. We queued to get in for hours. And then when we got in, we had a quick look at the Rogue One costumes, because they had all of those on display. And then we had to rush to queue up for the Mark Hamill. Then we did the Mark Hamill panel, came out, queued to Subway, had time to just eat a Subway, and then had to go and start queuing for the afternoon panel, which was Rogue One. Then when that was done, we came out, collected our posters, and that was it.
It's over.
It was the end of the day.
Wow.
That's another thing I guess I'm kind of excited about is just as a person who likes making costumes and props, I'm curious to see if they're going to put... I don't know if they're going to put any of the Last Jedi stuff out yet, but I would imagine they would. And just seeing that stuff would be pretty cool.
This is another reason why I think they'd have to drop the trailer as soon as possible, because we haven't seen anything yet, have we?
Yeah, no, we've only seen that box art.
That box art
where
for
they
toys.
Look basically the same.
Exactly
I still
the same.
can't get over how everybody freaked out about that box. Like, we were talking about it on Skyhoppers, and I was like, okay, we're all talking, this is a box. This is the packaging for a toy, not the toy itself. I just couldn't get over it.
It did reveal that she's clearly Qui-Gon Jinn's granddaughter. Because of
Of course, yes. Clearly.
That's a huge reveal,
Yes.
Don't sell it short.
I think that's more of a huge leap.
That was the first... I went on... Tumblr is a nightmare sometimes. The first thing after they released that box art, I go on Tumblr, and somebody's already posted, well, clearly she's related to Qui-Gon Jinn now. I'm like, okay, I guess hair means that they're related.
Well, I don't have hair, and I'm not related to Lex Luthor or Mace Windu or...
that you know of.
That I know of. No. So, yeah, I think that's just people looking far too much.
I think everybody's just like, we gotta know who Rey is, so let's take extreme leaps. You know, I think that's where people are at. Because he didn't get a whole lot about her in episode 7, so people are like, okay, who can she possibly be? They set up the mystery.
That's one of my favourite things about these new saga films, is that we really don't know anything. And it's so refreshing to be in a Star Wars cycle where we don't know anything, because the last 3 movies, we knew where they were going. Anakin becomes Darth Vader. You know what happens.
I think, and that's, I've heard the question, I think Tumbling Saber did that, would you rathers, or if you could watch every Star Wars movie now that's going to be coming out right now today, you mean, like, or let's say if we could all sit down and watch Last Jedi right now, the 3 of us, would you want to and lose out on what we do pretty much all year round, like all the discussion and the excitement of opening night?
Yeah, I mean that's a really.
Of course, if it was right here, I'd probably watch it and then regret. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy.
Regret it. Yeah.
Regret it. But and then every podcast be like, "Oh, do you think Ray's gonna do this?" And you're like, "I'm not saying." Like that's all you would have no.
It's like I'm not saying Luke is Ray's daughter, but I'm not saying
exactly.
Yeah,
you would have no. You couldn't contribute to anything anymore.
No, that's right. No, I'd like to see it with. In step with the rest of it.
Of course, yeah.
Because it's bad enough that last year with Rogue One, I saw it a couple of days ahead of you
guys.
Oh, yeah. Because it was biting my tongue not to say too much.
Man, I went in, I saw one trailer for Rogue One, I think. And it was the one that we covered on the podcast, because I was like, I don't want to know anything about it. I didn't even know Sheridan Baze's name until I saw the thing.
Right.
And it got spoiled for me from somebody in the UK.
Really?
Who saw it a day early and sent me a text that said, hey, did you watch Rogue One? It's really good, but it's really sad they all died, right?
Oh, what?
And I got The Force Awakens spoiled for me in a comment section. I was watching a Stephen Colbert video. And I went down and I scrolled down through the comment section, and it went, Han Solo dies by his son Kylo Ren. And I was like, are you kidding me?
That's just appalling.
Well, can you? And that's it. I remember distinctly messaging you, Mark, when Rogue One was coming up. I was like, oh, just to let you know, remember, we don't get it for another few hours. So it just like let us know, or if you're gonna post stuff, or or you set up the safe place.
Safe place to talk. Yeah, I think it was Stacey asked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was getting a little bit too risky.
That's honestly one of the things I appreciate the most about Star Wars specifically, is because it just reminded me the new Spider-Man Homecoming trailer kind of revealed a little bit more than I would like it to, and trailers have this bad habit of doing that lately. But with like Rogue One and The Force Awakens especially, they didn't really reveal anything. And Star Wars is very secretive.
Well, Rogue One wasn't even the same footage. For the most part.
No, it's got about 10% of it.
I saw a thing on Twitter the other day. It's like, why is everybody freaking out about The Last Jedi trailer? Only 50% of what you see in it is going to be in the final cut of the movie.
They can't get this. We're so unforgiving today. We're all over the place with this podcast, aren't we?
Yeah.
A little bit.
We're so unforgiving as an audience and as a fandom today that they can't get away with these sins, whether they're deliberate or not. Like, with The Force Awakens being very similar in structure to A New Hope, they can't get away with that again. Mm-hmm. They've played that card now, and I think that was calculated.
Of course,
to play a new tune on a similar instrument.
I honestly think it was because of the prequels, because the prequels are so hated by so many different people. I think they kind of did a major kind of overcorrection.
Yeah,
but
that is one way. I was looking at it because I was saying it's a soft reboot. When
that's one way to look at it.
When they did a retread of what people know, they knew that you're going to hit all the beats, or they were just with new colours and
and it was
shapes.
Everything. It was done right, and I know it gets, like you said, it gets a lot of criticism, but like even like the Falcon reveal to the Han and Chewie reveal, and they used that in the trailer, and it's like it was perfect. Like it was, unbelievable. So, and I know for somebody that was waiting so long to see number 7, that it hit all the was it retreads of this, and of course, and I know Starkiller Base, and then I start looking at, well, the science isn't really practical behind that, but then J.J. Abrams goes, it's Star Wars, Shut up, Rob.
There's a considerable amount of suspension of disbelief that comes with this universe.
Yeah, lightsabers and the use of force.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would Starkiller get under your skin? It's
yeah, that's the typical like the Superman fan is like, well, I believe he can fly and stop bullets and heat vision.
But freeze breath is where I draw.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Make any sense.
Yeah, or in Superman 2 where he took his crest off his chest and threw it.
Oh my
at
god!
One of the bad guys said, "Oh, well, that's not in the ball. I'm walking out. That's horrible."
Yeah, there is a thing, I suppose, where if a universe sets up rules for itself, it needs to abide by those rules, and it just can't change them.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And the example I like to use is The Walking Dead. You know, I buy into everything in The Walking Dead, but if a UFO came and landed and aliens got out of it, it's as equally as unbelievable as zombies, but it just doesn't fit in the rules that they've created for themselves. Star Wars has been very good with the rules that it's created and abiding by them.
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten too far out with them.
I'd say since the Disney kind of reboot of everything, they've been remarkably consistent. If you go back to the EU, it's pretty...
Oh, yeah. That goes...
That's where the new canon came from, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pushing that big reset button to get rid of that stuff.
Which I complained about a lot, but I actually appreciate it more now than I did. I remember back in like 2014 or whenever Lucas bought Star Wars and they announced they were getting rid of it. My first thought was like, oh no, Thrawn! Because Thrawn's my favorite bad guy. But ever since then, I'm like, okay, Disney's doing a good job. You know, it's really good stuff.
Yeah, and in a similar way to, they've fed Thrawn back into canon, and I had another thing that they had from canon that they're reintroducing, but it's gone because I'm that tired. That I'm losing patches of Star Wars knowledge.
Oh no!
So there's nothing at the moment that's out there that's in old canon or legends that they can't sort of say, look, we're going to take that and we're going to reintroduce it. Maybe we'll give it to another character, or maybe we'll turn it slightly and show it in a different way. But they will use it and feed these things back in.
Well, and also too, they're getting us, the fans of the EU or the Legends now. That we're like, oh, like when Rebels said, oh, look at the Thrawn reveal. Oh my God, oh, they're weaving it back in. But then now we're like, we don't know his story anymore, but we know his character. So now it's like we're giving that little taste, and they've been sprinkling that stuff all over the place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, y'all should read Thrawn. It's really good. I read it on the flight over here.
The whole thing?
Not the whole thing. I read it the night before. I read a considerable amount of it on the flight over here.
Your attention, my attention span. I love reading the novels, but it's not. It's like, oh look, what something shiny. Oh wait, Rob, no, pay attention. That's why the comics. That's why we do the DSW comics.
Comics are a lot easier to digest, I will admit.
Get those done a lot quicker and simpler.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously, like now we're gonna. I think tomorrow morning we'll be very grateful. Still disappointed, but very grateful for the sleep. We'll be looking at a new, fresh day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to circle back to one point that I started to make, and then part of my mind fell asleep. The thing you started talking about, Ash, about being a maker and wanting to see the costumes.
Oh yeah.
I started thinking, if they don't release the Last Jedi trailer, they're going to be limited at the start of this event. If they don't release the Last Jedi trailer, they're going to be limited what they can show us on the floor.
Yeah.
They can't show us too much in the way of costumes or ship designs or concept art, because it might give something away. And much the way I think Hayden's presence on stage is kind of the first brick in that wall. If there's trailer footage with Hayden in it, it's probably best to release that first so he can speak freely on stage.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to see the ghost of Anakin again,
it
might be nice if Hayden Christensen could talk about it and not have to wait till Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just like you said, walk around and step around, sidestep questions like Ewan McGregor's been doing for the last month.
He's getting good at it though, and he's poker face.
Yeah,
he's getting very good at it.
I love how his just default answer is like, I don't know. Like
Like, don't hold your breath. That was the thing.
Exactly,
Don't hold your breath.
And the thing is, too, and it's got to be, of course, if we bumped into him, we would ask him ourselves. But what people are forgetting is, like, he's probably very liable financially.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably got an NDA as long as my arm.
Yeah, if he were to say something. So he's in the back of his mind going, oh, I can't wait. Like, every time I walk out of the house, I might lose my house because I accidentally.
But he's getting very good at sort of answering with a non-answer, sort of saying it would be good, wouldn't it? And I think they can put more than one film in that gap between Sith and A New Hope. He's very, and then he steps on our side of the line saying, "Wouldn't it be great if we did this?"
Wouldn't it be great?
And it's not like he's saying, "I can't tell you anything." He's not the gatekeeper type. He's like, "I'm a big fan too, and I would love to do it, and I want to play this character again. I love this character."
Yeah.
So he charms us to a point where we can
Charming individual, yeah.
It certainly is. This podcast is going to be interesting. If we do patch these things together with little snippets, this is a lot longer than I was expecting to get in the first hit for this podcast. Wow.
There's the air conditioner, yes.
It is all the time we got. It's all the time we got for this in. No, it will be interesting because we've got our thoughts down now, and if we do another short block of recording tomorrow, our perspective's going to change.
Yeah, well, we're going to have stuff.
We'll see the evolution throughout the weekend. And also, too, we have 3 separate podcasters from 3 separate shows, and we're so used to different dynamics. It's very...
I feel like the Skyhoppers tangents have kind of bled in a little bit on this episode.
Yeah, well, we do have the TSW tangents. We were playing Follow That Tangent last week, and Stephen called me out on it because I just could not stay on one subject. I was all over the place.
That is a continual thing with Skyhoppers. It'll be like, okay, we're talking about Rebels. Wait, why are we talking about the courtship of Princess Leia right now?
Yeah.
Mark, why have you turned off your computer? Your targeting scanner. There's no point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's not sign off because we're gonna. Do another chunk. So
we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you from day 1 of celebration.
Yeah, it's not even day 1 yet.
It's not even day 1.
I'm so exhausted already. Okay. Great stuff. Hey everyone, it's Mark. The next clip you're going to hear is lifted off of a video that Rob and I recorded as part of the day 1 breakdown. It's a recap of what we've been up to during the day. So the audio seems a little bit different to usual. We're mic'd up differently. We were just about to record the TSW Comics issue 1. So this is Rob and I on day 1, recapping our day. Right. Okay. I always like to give myself just a second to calibrate before I... Because I'm always trying to remember, this bit's on camera, and that's awkward. Okay, so picking up from where we left off earlier on, this is kind of the last part of the daily diary for day 1.
Day 1, yes.
Day 1. And we just wanted to sort of fill you in on some of the adventures that we'd had today, and misadventures, I suppose, would be the way that ended.
Yes, and I think the last time you saw us, we were a little worse for wear. We were, I think, leaning against a wall, and we have to. Yes, we have to apologize because you have to realize we're both very travel weary, and then little sleep because the excitement before the travel day, and then finally getting a chance to get here, and then excited about the day, and then the queues. Did we explain enough about the queues this morning?
The queues. It's very easy to sort of dip into negativity, isn't it, with the queues, and I think basically what it is in this episode of the Daily Diary is called queues, is you queue for the right to queue. Yes. And then at the end you're rewarded with. And
the only queue.
Panel.
Yeah, the only queues. There was one of the big payoffs this morning was the queue for the washroom.
Yeah.
That was everything I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I would recommend it.
I gave it a standing ovation.
You did, eh?
Yeah.
Good.
The other thing that kind of fueled that is the queue for the concessions.
For the vending machine for the water.
For the vending machine for your water, which then fueled.
Yes,
the original queue.
It was a vicious cycle. And also, too, they don't... it doesn't take toonies or Canadian coin. It's we forget. I was actually reaching in my pocket going, oh, well, I'm not that smart, am I?
Yeah, so the queue marathon, it wears thin pretty quickly, doesn't it? It soon loses its appeal. So some of the things, like today we queued
for an hour and some change to get a slip of paper, which we showed you earlier on in the video actually, and that gave us the right to go and queue up again
for the
on
Hasbro
inside to buy some limited stuff in the Hasbro store. By the time you get there, you're kind of wondering whether or not you really wanted the thing.
Yeah, and to be honest, you and I are not huge collectors, so because the 40th anniversary panel was super queued up, and there was no chance unless you like people for tomorrow's panel. We saw when we left today at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, they were starting to line up to sleep overnight, to queue in, and then to line up to get into the hall and get their wristbands to finally see the show for 11 o'clock tomorrow. So when we got here this morning for the 40th, we knew we were not getting in, and then we basically, what queues? We're here now, and we can't get into the hall till 10 a.m., so that's why when we found the Hasbro line, and we're like, hey, we're standing around, might as well.
No, we wanted to make use of that opportunity because that's something that was very tangible. And at the end of that queue, you come away with a product.
Not all bad though. Like obviously, it's the big ones that are the huge queues. But the Dave Filoni queue, we'll explain that later. But we literally walked right up, got a wristband.
And that's kind of, I think, the approach we're going to take for the rest of the weekend, which is turn up a little bit later so that we're not queuing around the convention, because the line wrapped around the convention centre this morning. So instead of doing that, we'll roll up a little bit later.
Oh yeah, I could damn near see the CN Tower by the time. So I'm like,
we cross time zones, didn't we?
Oh my god, I gotta cut my grass.
We're definitely gonna just pick up on the lesser populated panels so that we know we'll get into them and we'll enjoy them, but we'll be better rested by the time we get to them, because as you will learn in a minute from our Filoni experience, that was kind of tarnished by being tired. So the queues and the crowds do test the patience a little bit, and I'm sure that will be a theme on the other diary posts for this event.
Right, and it's not a slight. It's just I think when we left today and we saw people lining up, like I said, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, lining up for the right to sleep there overnight. And I looked at Mark in the Uber and I said, well, they just want it more than me.
Yeah.
You win.
They want it a 20 hours wait worth more than us.
Yep.
To be sure.
So yeah, like you said, tomorrow morning we're gonna finish up some Talk Star Wars stuff here tonight. We just had a nice, wonderful meal, like a nice American portion-sized meal.
Yeah. Long chat.
Yeah, and now we're gonna handle some business, and then now we'll get a nice rest and make our way.
Quick for tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's some of the positive sides, because that's all very negative. While you are in these queues, you are surrounded by some incredible sort of cosplayers. And, And I mean, some of the highlights today, I didn't get any footage of it, but it was somebody dressed as Peter Cushing, but with or Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yes.
But with slippers.
Yeah. Yes.
That was a feature of his cosplay, was the slippers with the short trousers.
Yeah.
There were a couple of Sabines who took time to have photographs taken with all the kids. They looked great. And then when you're being entertained by these people as they're walking around. I mean, they're not clowns, but they're walking around. They're playing the part, and it's really cool. And they've obviously put a lot of attention into what their costumes look like. And then that means when they open the floodgates and these crowds start to heave through, you're already in the zone, aren't you? You're already in Star Wars mode.
And the second the doors open, because we were there so early, we heard the rush of the crowd, and then all the place lights up with all the sabers being raised.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you're through the doors, and at this celebration, and I know Connor asked a question on last week's main show about what would you like to take home in the foyer.
Yeah.
Or just as you walk in, there's an air speeder, a snow speeder sitting there. There's an AT-AT
life size.
walker.
Yeah, and the AT-AT wasn't life size, but it was huge. Yeah.
It was a lot bigger than the Lego AT-AT.
Oh gosh.
That was being circled by a Lego snow speeder.
Yes.
In what it can only be, it's a stunning Lego diorama, wasn't it? The first display that we saw and spent some time with were these incredible little displays.
Yeah, they were, I think, Battle of Endor, Battle of Hoth. They had all these little Lego. It was set up. It was fantastic.
Yeah, really nice displays there, and there's the Hall of Armor. There's all the different types of Vader armor in cases next to each other.
Oh yes, and also the from the 3 OT movies. So you can stand beside and really take a good long look at the New Hope, Empire, and Jedi Vader, and you can look at them all independently and see changes that were made, subtle differences. It was really good.
Yeah, it was stunning. So then, and like we mentioned, we went and queued up again with our vouchers and bought our action figures, which I'm sure there are some photographs on the site for that or on the Facebook page. And then we got we got to watch it. We had some lunch, didn't we? We got to watch the 40th panel on YouTube.
We were in the building. It'd be like if it was happening behind that door.
Yeah.
That's how close we were.
Yeah. And it was, and it's a frustrating irony that the only way we could enjoy that panel
was watching it on YouTube.
Watching the live stream, which you guys probably done without leaving your homes.
But what we did find out, though, there is another larger screen that was, 100 feet down the convention hall, where I think tomorrow I'm going to try to plan, because they had the sound all up. And
so when we have lunch, we can go and sit and watch the Last Jedi panel there. So when the trailer drops, we'll be able to...
And also, too, and it's exciting because everybody's, regardless of how we're viewing it, unless you're doing the marathon sleepover, you're not getting in to see it live. And then what are you going to queue up again to see it on a TV screen in a hall? No, I'd rather see it on the TV screen on the convention floor and then be with our fellow Star Wars fans. And it's awesome. Like, it just...
and the Commonwealthers.
The reaction. Another huge reaction we had today on the 40th panel, we were... when John Williams started up, everybody was just tapping arms and like, oh my God, like, it's like, this is fantastic. And it's neat. I can be at home on YouTube, watching YouTube, and it's neat to be here. And I know anybody I turn around and tap and point, and they're going to know exactly. They're right in the moment, and they appreciate it as much as you do too, which is it's awesome. Like, just
that was interesting, actually. That Williams performance was going on as we were making our way up to the Filoni queue.
Yep.
And we moved through the convention hall, up a couple of flights, up a couple of stories. Made our way into the queue, and it seemed we might have been there for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and we heard the John Williams behind the doors. Like we got great seats for the Filoni queue because the 40th anniversary people, the diehards, weren't flooding the floor yet.
Yeah.
So we got to walk around the convention center before
the bodies hit.
Yes, exactly. Before the wave came, and we got into Dave Filoni queue, which was great.
Yeah, except we didn't really see much. Both of us, we were with Ash.
Yes.
From Skyhoppers. So Rob was sitting one side of Ash, I was sitting the other side of Ash, and she was paying full attention. She was queuing, and we were both nodding off.
Showing her age.
I kept feeling myself jolt awake. I can't do this. And we had planned another panel after.
Yes, we were going to go see
the music of Rogue One with Dave Collins,
but we're not that strong.
No, we pulled the ripcord.
Do or do not. There is no try. There was do not. No, it was.
Yeah, there was a massive do not. So that was the end of our day one. Basically, sort of mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
We jumped in an Uber, came home. I went to sleep for at least a solid hour before we went out to dinner.
Yeah, we got
just recharge the batteries a little bit.
Yeah, and not to Dave Filoni panel was fantastic.
Yeah,
we saw lots of sketches and lots of good stuff. I'm not sure if it's online, but if it is, watch it. Well, I know a Boba Fett fan club posted that clip, that animation clip they had from Clone Wars. And it's really cool with Cad Bane and Boba Fett. I know it's floating around on the VIPs.
Yeah.
So watch that for sure. And they also had a slight reveal of, was it Rex for next year?
Yeah.
On Rebels.
Now I couldn't quite decide if that was legitimate or if they're.
It was legitimate. Yeah. So it was a tease. It was a concept drawing, and you know how when they show the animation, they have it looks like a blueprint, and then they have the front side, arms up, and it was Rex in like a Battle of Endor helmet.
Yep. So the
gear.
retcon is complete.
Yeah. So you have that battle, like that Leia helmet from Battle of Endor, and then the green, the camouflage, but you saw the
big
blue.
white beard.
Yeah, the big white beard, and you saw the splash of white with the blue.
Which is nice, because isn't that character from Jedi the one that ends up back in the armour, the Speederbite rider armour, when they raid the shield generator compound?
I think so. I don't.
So that would be Rex's circle complete, starting as a clone trooper and coming all the way back round to being a rebel in disguise as a stormtrooper.
So, spoilers, but we were just they literally just showed us. They're like, oh, here's a piece from next year, and it was just there was no walking away from it. It was like, oh, and it doesn't tell any story, but I think being fans, we immediately
get it,
can't connect, and then of course you saw the shot, you saw. And then all of a sudden, all the crowd simultaneously got it. Yeah.
It was good stuff. It was a good panel. I wish I'd been more engaged with it. I'll definitely watch it again on YouTube at some point, like I'm going to do with most of these panels, I think, just so I can be completely sure that I've got enough out of this experience.
It like you said last year from Celebration, the hard part was you spend so much time. Once you get your wristbands in the morning, even for the smaller panels, the wristbands are easily gotten. And then you have to go, you see a panel, and then you got to go out in line and then queue up because you want a good seat for the next panel. And basically, it's like waiting in line for a movie. It's not that horrible like it is for the big panels, like the 40th today. But you were right. You do spend a lot of time getting to panel, and then you don't see a lot of the floor. So tomorrow, I personally want to go to see most of the floor, and then if there's panel would have to be pretty good to catch my eye. But then now I've freed up my weekend to just take it all in, and then that way I don't want to be the last day going, oh, I want to spend 3 hours waiting to see the closing ceremonies, but I haven't seen this or I haven't talked to this guy. Oh, and also speaking of talking to people, we bumped into the Rogue Squad.
Yeah,
Mopar and Cody. Cody was there getting a
tattoo.
Yeah.
Of Commander Cody.
Of Commander Cody on his arm. So yeah, it was great. It's very, again, I think like yesterday when we bumped in, we're staying at the same hotel, and then I was heading to the elevator, and the elevator doors open, and there was Mark.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Yeah. So
that's a floor I shouldn't have been on.
No,
I got off on the wrong level, and just so happens to this gentleman standing outside.
Yeah. So it was very. It stepped back and oh yeah, you're supposed to be here. That's right. And so it's been awesome, and being hang out with Ash was fantastic. We were a little trio today, and with Ben should be arriving
today. So tomorrow will be different again because they might spend more time together doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And we've definitely settled on a schedule that's going to work for us. Yeah,
exactly, and it works out well because obviously, like you got the Rogue Squad, they're all tight. Ben and Ash, they're in completely different states. They haven't met face to face yet, so now they're going to have a nice weekend together. And you got the old guys. When one turns to the other and goes, "You think we should go get a nap?" Yeah, let's go. Yeah, you don't get a lot of arguments.
You got to just cut these things. You cut your cloth to suit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
This is the pace that works for us.
Yeah, exactly. So we know what we're the old guys at the resort. They're just like, no, you go off and go skydiving.
Go children, go and have some fun. We're going to go and have some sleep. Right, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's day one. So a few more to go.
Yes.
Hopefully there'll be less frustration the more rested we are going into these things.
Yes.
And more exciting stuff to talk about.
Excellent.
Okay.
So we'll see you day two.
See you on day two.
If you'd like to support what we do here at Talk Star Wars, you can do so by becoming a TSW sponsor. For as little as £1 per month, given securely via PayPal, you can help us keep the lights on here at TSW. When you become a TSW sponsor, we will elevate you to VIP status. As a TSW VIP, you'll get access to an exclusive stream that provides you with fun downloads like HD wallpapers for your desktop, tablet and mobile device, ringtones and text alerts courtesy of our very own audio Jedi at Rob Wade Vision. You'll also receive a monthly newsletter with news about what's going on here at Talk Star Wars, and you'll get a priority release of the new Star Wars audio commentary series called TSW Feature Comms. All this for as little as £1 per month. Head to talkstarwars.co.uk/support and become a TSW sponsor today, and the Force will be with you always. Hey everyone, it's Mark again. So what you're about to hear now is a clip from day 2, the end of day 2, when we'd been to a pretty late panel, which was the Full of Sith guys discussing Han Solo, and we'd gone up with Ben and Ash from Skyhoppers. Rob was there, obviously, and we met up with Dan Solo. So we decided we'd get together in a corridor somewhere and record just a brief recap on what we've been up to that day. Did a little bit of a round table, not Rob's well-structured round table, but a casual little round table look at our day, which included Dan Solo, who at this point was basically a zombie because all he'd done is stay awake eating Pringles, queuing up for things. So this is a recap, a bit of a Commonwealth recap of the con day 2.
Hey everybody, we are at, well, this is day 2 of Star Wars Celebration. I'm here, I'm Ash from the Skyhoppers podcast, and we're joined by the other half of Skyhoppers today.
For once, I finally made an appearance on something that's not the Skyhoppers podcast. I'm Ben, also of the Skyhoppers podcast.
And, of course, we're joined by the Talk Star Wars guys.
I'm Mark, Talk Star Wars.
And I'm Rob Gass of the TSW Roundtable.
Yeah, and we're also joined by one of the TSW VIPs, right?
Yes,
The best one.
Yes, Dan Solo.
Is that just because he's right here?
Just because I'm the only
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I'm Dan Solo. Hello.
Yeah, and you made your way all the way from across the pond too.
Yeah.
Orlando.
With a week to spare, I managed to get some tickets.
Oh my god.
I flew over last minute.
Last minute rush, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it was day 2. How was y'all's day 2?
Good. I think Rob and I had spoken about expectations over the past couple of days with all the overnight, with all the sleepovers and the mad rush for the premium panels, and we'd recalibrated our expectations. So today was much less of a disappointment. So we knew that we were going to come in and do something relaxed. If we went to panels, we'd go to whatever was open, and we weren't going to put any pressure on it. And I enjoyed it much more. And of course, it's Last Jedi trailer day, so
Yes, of course. I think by the time this is out, you'll have the YouTube video up of our reaction, right?
yeah, it's
Yes.
uploaded now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hopefully.
great! Yeah, so we did a video kind of just immediately after we saw the trailer, just kind of our initial thoughts about. I can't even remember what I said, to be completely honest with you. I think I said something about Rose and Finn.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer came out today, which was. It's a great trailer. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sure everybody who's listening to this has already watched the trailer.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
If that doesn't dominate the conversation here, then we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Myself, day 2 was awesome. Again, Mark, once we made our peace with going, okay, we're not staying overnight, and we were hearing that even if you stay overnight, you weren't guaranteed. So if there's no, once we knew, we had a great sleep last night. We woke up, had a nice big breakfast, sauntered our way down here. We queued up, obviously like everybody else, to get into the actual convention center, and I've had a great day, and we were nicely rested that we even went back to the hotel. We all met, all of us met for supper, and then let's go back and catch another panel. And obviously it's a convention. I'm tired, but I'm not beyond tired where I was like, no, I gotta stay in my hotel room all night. But day 2 was awesome, and of course, trailer. But we have that video reaction. But I still have to say it because it was this today.
We are obliged to.
Yes.
I think contractually, actually.
Yes. If you don't say it, we just cut you out of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was the first time I watched it. I had to watch it through a child's elbow. His
Yes.
arm had a hole in it, and I was trying to peek my head through.
I saw the dad put him up on the shoulders. I'm like, this is such a great time for you to do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't care.
No.
Right? So what about you, Dan? How was your day 2?
Well, I haven't slept properly. I haven't eaten properly. So probably take me to the hospital after this.
We'll carry you out, mate.
My first day was absolutely phenomenal. My second day hasn't quite been so good, and that was due to not getting into the live panel for The Last Jedi.
Right.
After queuing from 8 p.m. the day before. So, but it was still great to see see it on the big screen. It was great to have a bit of a crowd of people around. People weren't cheering as much in the screening, but the trailer was just amazing, and I'm really concerned about Luke's state of mind.
Me too.
Sorry.
I was trying to keep it silent, and I realized why.
Yeah, Ben was reacting here, and it was just like, is he going to say something?
I saw your face, man, and I was just like...
Someone said Luke. Of course I'm going to say something.
So what about you, Ben? This was your first... This is your first day.
This is just day one for me, which, and after being here, I realized that this should be day two. I should have come here yesterday but Ash was moving stuff around so much and I wasn't able to keep up with when she was getting tickets and flights and all that stuff. But no, it was mostly on me. I don't mean to blame Ash. I
got you the Luke Skywalker exclusive and a signed copy of Thrawn.
That's why I'm not actually blaming you, because exactly. But that's it. Again, if I was here yesterday, that wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have had to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great experience. I thought, one thing I was a little bit concerned about coming down here was I figured the people who were really vehemently anti-prequel wouldn't necessarily come to something like this, because that's just not what this is about. We're all celebrating Star Wars, and I was really happy to see that we talked to so many people today that were just great. I don't know. It was a really positive atmosphere. The Heroines of Star Wars panel was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how much I love the female characters in Star Wars until I watched that panel and was just like, wow, these characters mean so much more to me than I thought they did originally.
I think the most fun we had during that was when they did this little sizzle reel thing, and me and Ben are just sitting there like, oh, that's Sam Wessel, oh, that's Steela, oh, that's this. It was great.
I don't know. It's been fantastic. I really look forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow's shopping day. The Last Jedi trailer was, of course, fantastic. I'm also very, very concerned about Luke, but again, that's in the video. Next year, I'll definitely be coming back and assuming it's still a 4-day thing, Friday will be my day 2 next year. Or whenever it is, I can make it to another celebration. I don't really feel like going to Europe for one, but we'll see.
I might do that one.
Yeah, you might.
My day 2 is pretty great, too. Number 1, because I finally met Ben, which we haven't met each other in person. So that was a really weird / really cool experience.
A little bit.
So yeah, and then we went to the Full of Sith on the podcast stage, which is Ben and I's one of our favorite podcasts, and they knew who we were as well.
Which was the coolest thing. I still can't get over that.
They listened to our show, or at least vaguely knew who we were, so that was great. And then we went to the Heroines of Star Wars panel, we got a little exclusive look at what is it called, Galaxy?
Forces of Destiny.
Galaxy of Heroes is the video game. I don't know what I'm talking about. But we got a little exclusive look at Forces of Destiny, which was great. I'm really excited to watch those. And yeah, it was good. We just got out of the Life and Times of Han Solo panel, which was really good as well. It was interesting. They were just talking about Han Solo, which I'm never not down for. So
it was a nice, relaxed panel, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on tomorrow. What's everybody looking forward to tomorrow?
Like I said, tomorrow's kind of shopping. We'd like to get into the Rebels panel, but much like you guys, we're just kind of going to get here in the morning, and if we get in, then we get in. Because this is definitely waiting overnight for that kind of stuff really rushing to get here to get into something. For me, kind of undermines the experience, because it is something I want to be stressful, not a stress-free, positive experience.
Right.
And if you're concerned about getting into something, it makes sense if you are, because you want to see it. But also, if we don't get in, I'm gonna try not to let it ruin my day, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna release all the whatever video or concept art or whatever they're gonna release online. The thing I was most excited about for the season for the Rebel stuff is the stuff they actually showed in the Dave Filoni panel on Thursday, where they kind of revealed that Rex was the guy in Return of the Jedi who we all thought was Rex.
Yeah.
That's been one of my favourite things about this celebration so far, that retcon, full-on retcon of that character.
Yeah, I know. Dave Filoni said a couple years ago, he's like, I'd like to think that's Rex, but this is a full-blown
to do it. To make
that's Rex. I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, yeah, they're gonna do something. He's gonna have to change his name for some reason to Nick whatever. I don't remember the guy's name. Nick something.
It's related to Santa Claus. That much I do know. It's Nick S something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it with this either, though.
Well, one thing I can guarantee about tomorrow, I will not purchase any more vintage figures.
Right.
So I'm putting it on tape
Can we
now.
get that in writing?
Yeah, well, it's recorded.
It's going on the internet.
Yes.
It never goes away.
Shopping tomorrow, so
Yeah, well, I'll be watching
Mark
Mark
wake.
vintage
No.
shop.
Dan, what are you doing tomorrow?
Totally the opposite. I will be vintage shopping. But I totally agree with Ben. I'm going to get around the shops and around the booths, and I'll be having a look at the exhibit hall because I've just not really had a chance to do that properly over the last 2 days. There was one panel I've got my eye on. That's the Battlefront 2.
Right.
yeah.
I'm so happy you reminded me of
I
that.
play a lot of Battlefront, and I'm really interested to see what the next installment's going to look like.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited they're throwing single player back in it.
Yeah, did you see that little teaser trailer?
I've not seen anything
Oh, it's
about
fantastic.
it yet, so
There's a tiny, 30-second teaser trailer that's pretty heavily implying that single player's back.
Which Dice has been saying for a while,
Yep.
so thank God.
It's great.
It's one of the best parts of Battlefront.
I
Battlefront
know.
2 is single player.
Yep.
I'm literally preaching to the choir here, but
So all around, I guess, successful day 2, and looking forward to day 3.
Agreed.
yeah,
I am.
definitely, absolutely. All right,
We'll
not
do this
quite-
tomorrow then. I
do it
guess.
tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll do the day 3 coverage tomorrow.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, so it's day it's the end of day 3.
Yes.
I've got a con brain. I can't keep it straight. So it's the end of day 3, and we're just about to head out for dinner with hopefully with the Rogues. Maybe the Skyhoppers will make an appearance, and Dan Solo. My voice is so tired. Dan Solo will be joining us. But in the meantime, we thought we'd just have a little recap of what's happened today. And Rob's day's been a hell of a lot more interesting than me. So, Rob.
My day. Well, let me see. We woke up, had breakfast, same as day 2. We just kind of dealt with the fact that we're not going to line up for the Rebels. I mean, we're not going in there so early or this and that. That's one we can miss. And it was actually today we got in way better, which was surprising because we were told Saturday. That was the first to sell out. That was this but no, we lined up, got in, and it was shopping day. Well,
for me it was window shopping day. I've already laid bare my old Kenner thing on a video that I did earlier that went out on
so check
the
that
Daily
out.
Diary went out. But
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, so yeah, it was great because this was our first day where we had really no expectations, where there was no podcast panels to see, there was nothing else. We just walked the floor, and this is our 3rd day, and we're like, oh, we've never seen this before. We've never seen that. We've never unbelievable exhibits, and there's tons of pictures online. My personal favorite was the droid room.
That was so good.
Yeah, with the BB-8. Everybody's seen the picture by now on Facebook, but yeah, it's the hallway of the Millennium Falcon, and you can walk right in it, and they got the BB-8 suspended. But it's just fantastic.
It is so cool. Really, really nice little setup.
Yeah, and all those droids, they had a minion. Droid,
Minion R2,
Batman, Bat R2. There's a steampunk one,
a Robin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Robin. What do they call those?
The Robin mouse droid.
Yes.
The steampunk R2 was stunning.
Yeah, I'll post pictures of that. It's made out of wood. It's like an R5, made out of wood, and then when it rolls around, the little where R2 has his jets on the side of his legs, it's like little train engine like
pistons.
Yeah, and he's got a little pipe hanging out the back. It's just fantastic.
He had little vents with what looked like little coal-fed furnace in.
Yeah, he lit it up at the bottom, so it looked like there was a little fire burning underneath him. It was fantastic.
Amazing, really cool.
What else? We cosplays today.
That big Imperial, the 501st, with all those Imperials on the stairs.
Yes, they all got together and they all color coordinated, and I took a few snaps of that. There was a General Grievous with Count Dooku.
That was incredible. That was one of the first things we saw when we got in. It's like I think they're called kabuki, aren't they? The puppets that hang off the front of the puppeteer.
Yep.
And the puppeteer was inside the cloak. And so he was completely obscured.
For the Grievous, it was
it's just staggering. Really nice.
And again, everybody's super awesome to talk to. No matter who you talk to, it was great. I caught up with a non-Star Wars podcaster. He's out of LA, and it was like weird for our side stuff. It was just like, oh, and it's unbelievable how everybody's just as nice as you hope they'd be.
Yeah,
which is great.
Everyone's really cool. What else did we do? We did that. We spent some time with Dan Solo.
Yep.
He's a really nice guy. Sat and crouched and just shared some theories about The Last Jedi.
Yes, yeah, and everywhere you went today too was again theories on The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It was just an overall decent day.
Tiring.
Yeah, it was tiring.
Really, really tiring. I'm starting to really feel like exhausted from it now.
Yeah, and there's two things. When you're on the floor, you can you're literally in Mecca. So I know, and we're looking at tomorrow going, oh, you just want to soak it up because you're going home.
Yeah.
And it's not the floor. Once you've seen everything and you'd love to buy everything, and you just know what your niche is and you know what you're going to collect. So you deal with that on your own. That's the same thing as I'm sure when a lot of the fellow people in the Commonwealth go to the store and then they got the Force Friday.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like kind of us looking at the vintage stuff.
Yeah.
So when they see and they go, oh, I only collect Black Series, I only collect Lego, I only collect this. For us, we only collect vintage, and it's like, I know if you start pulling that string with instead of the 3 1/4 inch, if you go for the 6 inch or this or the ships or everything was there.
Yeah, I must admit, I did fess up to it on my video that I put out earlier, but it's I think I got caught up in the idea of becoming a vintage collector once you bought that Empire Luke. And I'd sat here last night, I was formulating all these plans. Well, if I can get a Farm Boy Luke for as little as $30, I'll get that.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll get the R2 and 3PO as well, because you don't want to buy one.
No, you can't. You'd be lonely.
So I thought, well, there you go. That will get me started, and then I'll just buy the first 12. And then I went and I found the Farm Boy Luke, but he was $75, not $30, and it wasn't in great condition. Then there was an 80 that was in better condition, but not fantastic.
Yep.
And then I spoke to Dan Solo, and he said, I think you might want to look at spending about $100 on one, because he just picked up a fixed limb 3PO, which was in really good condition for, I don't know how much. I think he paid 20, but I saw a 3PO and an R2 in an acrylic. They were both in acrylic cases, and they'd been, is it AFA, the rating?
Yeah, the grading, yeah.
They'd been AFA graded, and they were, I think, $100 each, and there was a Luke, he was loose in a baggie, he was $100 as well, and I thought, well, maybe that would be a good place to start. And then I started to notice how quickly it can escalate.
Yes.
From what your initial plans are to where you talk yourself up.
Well, that's just it. When I did the original run, and the Farm Boy Luke was my last one because I was being very picky. I wanted the original. I didn't want a repo weapon. Yeah. I wanted him to have a decent condition, and I wanted him with the lightsaber to have that little wick at the end.
Yeah.
If you look it up, everybody's very familiar with it. So, and that even in Canada cost me 110 Canadian, mind you, plus shipping and everything else. So when you're looking at the people there, there's one guy his prices were brilliant. They're perfect. They're right on. He wasn't trying to rip you off, and they were priced accordingly.
Yeah.
I mean, so, but it's just, and I know that's a hard. Oh, you're gonna drop that on one, and you'll love it. But either way, today was again browsing and fantasy shopping and window shopping, and
I really enjoyed it though.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it, and I'd managed to. By the time we'd left the floor and we'd gone upstairs to, where did we go? We went up to the podcast halls, didn't we? And then we we did the droid thing, and then we sat down. We were chatting, and when the Skyhoppers came and joined us, they had bags of toys. I thought, right, I'm going back.
Yes,
because I wanted to get a BB-8 because I got my K2SO on my desk. I wanted a BB-8 as well, so I thought I'm going back. I'd seen a Ray and BB-8 for $10. That's nothing. I'll run back and get it.
Yep.
And then when I got there, I looked at it, and it was just not what I'd some of the detail was wrong somehow. I think it was because the ball of BB-8 didn't have black lining on it; had like engraved lining, but the head had black line. It just didn't look right. And I thought, do you know what? I'm not equipped to make any decisions today.
Yeah, I know, and it's and you'll sleep on it. Then that's probably the best way. I do that lots at cons because especially when I'm at the ones in Southern Ontario, I always go to the 2 days.
Yeah.
And the best time to buy is on Sunday because the vendors don't want to take their stuff home. They don't want to pack that stuff up. So you might get a shave off $10 here and there. And I will see everything Saturday. I don't impulse. I go home, mentally think about it, and then I go back Sunday with a plan.
Yeah.
Cash in hand, obviously. And then the rest of the day, we let me see. By the time this rolls around, it's 3 in the afternoon. We got back to the rooms, and I caught up on all the panels because you can't, like you mentioned yesterday or on the Facebook Live this morning with the tapestry.
Oh yeah,
we're seeing it nose to nose with this thing, and everybody else in the world is seeing everything that's going on. But when we're indulging in one thing, we can't see what they're doing across or what panel or what something we're missing. So I caught up on all the good stuff, and it was now we're on our way out to dinner with Dan Solo.
Yeah, but Dan and hopefully the others.
And everybody, you might have heard my R2. That was the Rogue guys. So
right, okay.
that's my messaging. And so that R2 isn't. We didn't steal an R2. He's not in Mark's room. So
unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately. So.
Okay, right. Well, let's wrap this up then. So we'll be back on the final day.
Absolutely.
To wrap up the entire thing.
Absolutely. We'll be tired and probably an emotional wreck, but
yeah. And then hopefully I can get this podcast out, get it loaded, and get it out for Monday.
Wonderful.
Nice one. Okay, right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Later.
Right. So. Final day, that puff of that.
Jeez.
That just the last of my energy leaving me. Final day. What a day. What a difference as well.
Well, okay. First, this being the last, obviously, post from me because we're heading out for dinner after this.
Yep.
We're gonna meet up with VIP Dan Solo, and we're gonna have hopefully have a nice beer and have a nice meal, and then I'm waking up at stupid o'clock at 2 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
I know we started the weekend with high expectations, and there was disappointment with all the lineups and the queues and everything else,
and the overnights.
But again, like we've said before throughout the weekend, once we made our peace with it, it was a fantastic time. And actually, this morning we woke up again. It would turn out to be we did it for 3 days in a row. Had our breakfast, got some sleep. Hopped in an Uber, got down there, lined up, and today there was the shortest lineup to get in. We hopped in and tell them what panels we.
Well, we wandered in and we looked at because the huge scoreboard just as you get in tells you it tells you the status of all the panels, doesn't it? So,
right.
We looked down and obviously Hamill himself, Marc's panel, and the closing ceremony were high on my list of to-dos.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And there was nothing else of any interest today. I'd have gone to something, I guess.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Because once you're there, I knew in my heart of hearts, once I was leaving at 5 o'clock today, it's over.
Yep.
Remy, our evening's not over, but the celebration is officially over. And I would have dragged it out because I couldn't imagine coming back to my hotel room and putting my feet up and watching Friends on or Ellen or whatever's on, whatever they got playing down here, and knowing that there's a celebration going on down the street. Yeah. So any panel would have been great just to sit down for an hour.
Well, on the way in this morning, when we went in a slightly different route, didn't we, and didn't have to queue up so much. I was thinking, if the panels are sold out, I might head back to be near YouTube when the final ceremony, the closing ceremony starts, so that I could be there watching it in case there was any breaking news, which I didn't expect any breaking news, but in case there was something like location of the next event, or then a surprise announcement of movies or casting or whatever. There was none of that, but I was quite pleasantly surprised when we saw those scoreboards as we walked through the door this morning, and it had obviously the main stage for Hamill himself and the main stage for the ceremony, the closing ceremony, were gone.
Yep.
But the the Galaxy stage, where they broadcast, where they stream the live feed onto screens, was available.
Yeah.
So we managed to get both.
Yeah, so we should explain. Like, so we're in the room next to Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill. So we're not seeing it. We're seeing it just like everybody else at home.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing it in. It's different. It's like watching the movie. Whether you're watching it at home, it's way different. You know, when you're in the theater, and it was great. And we got to see it in real time. We got to sit back and relax and watch it.
Yeah.
Which was strange for the weekend. And that was entertaining. But what they did with the final, with the closing ceremonies, they split it. I'm sure everybody saw it on YouTube. They split it from room to room, from the floor.
Oh, I've never seen them do that before.
Yeah, from the floor, from the celebration room, and from the Galaxy, or the celebration theater and the Galaxy theater. So we got in on the last panel. We are, and right in the thick of it. And to see that trailer, this is what got me. I know we didn't see it on Thursday or on Friday when it dropped, but to see that trailer in that room with all those people, because they played it for us again, and with the sound, the big screen, and you're surrounded, like
that floor shook.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of Star Wars fans. It was just, it was a nice way to end it. It was really
and it's nice that people. You said something. And a woman a couple of seats down in the row in front turned around and started talking to you. And it's just, it's that kind of atmosphere that is just, that's why, if you're just walking around the con floor, killing time, you miss out on those interactions
and
with
people
that
see
are
me
in
on YouTube too all throughout the week. I've been wearing my cap and glasses and trying to play the Clark Kent look. So I don't, she didn't recognize me.
No.
I was like, you're Rob Cast.
Yeah. Oh, I should mention that actually, because I put this out earlier on a Facebook post. But we were on the floor this morning and we saw the lightsaber hilts.
Yes.
On the display, didn't we? And I went over, and because I'm always a bit partial to a lightsaber, and they had the Graflex, the Skywalker saber under a case, didn't
yes.
they? And a couple of Jedi lightsabers. And I was having a look, and the guy came over and we said hello, and he's telling me a bit about the lightsaber hilts. And then I thought, this guy's really interesting, and I'd like to talk to him on the podcast.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I said, can I take a card? And would you be interested in taking my card? And I passed the card over, and he said, oh, talk Star Wars. I know you guys. I couldn't believe. I was like the Grinch at Christmas. My cold dead heart swelled up 2 sizes.
Yeah, he's a prop guy. He's out of the States, and he does replicas, and he does this. We didn't see obviously the original saber hilt.
No.
But we saw he had a replica because he got, and you were just learning about this today. It's kind of the old lore where it's the hilt of the original lightsaber is from a flash of an older camera, and it has a good look to it. And he had one of the
great look to it.
Yeah, he lives in Rochester, New York.
Yeah,
and he lives in the town where they used to make these cameras. So he was explaining all that stuff, but it was like, I heard about you guys. It was like, what? Wait, what?
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it, and that just made my day. What else happened?
Lots of stuff.
We saw Chris and Stacey White again, and their son. That was nice.
Yeah, it was for me. Like we can ramble on and on and on about and of course everybody's going to see all the feeds and all, and we'll be. Oh yeah, I met up with Matt, a bunch of Matts from the SNL skit, Kylo Ren, and I bumped into a bunch of. There was like 10 of them, and they're all together and all crowded up, and they're all taking pictures. And I walked by and I said, "Kylo Ren's a punk bitch." And he ran over, and I posted the card he gave me. It was a replica of the card they used in the skit, and he gave it to me, and we were joking back and forth, and it was really kind of cool. But that was just something silly that happened to me. But for me, this weekend, obviously, Mark, we've hung out. Been sewn at the hip all weekend, and it's been awesome. And to people that don't know, like when you're here. It's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna go for lunch. No, we'll see you tomorrow. And we went. You go through this whole thing of the excitement, a lot of letdowns, extreme tired, extreme travel. We're both non-American, so there's these little, like, we're both kind of strangers in a strange land, and it was really cool because we got along famously, and
Yeah.
it was nice to. We met some weird people this weekend, and it could have been a lot worse.
We did meet some weird people, but we met the Commonwealthers and
well, we had craft
and
beer
some
with the
VIPs.
Rogue Squad last night.
craft beers with the Rogues.
That was a check mark. Ash and Ben, to see, and we were talking about this before. I mean, obviously they're young, early 20s, but they're adults,
Yeah.
and and we're saying, well, they're not kids, but it's nice to see that younger passion.
Yeah.
And we look back 20 years in our fandom and everything else, and they're just starting, and now they have all this. Like, can you imagine if we had podcasts and all celebrations and everything at that age, and they lined up and they enjoyed, and Ben was here for 2 days, and he got soaked in so much out of those 2 days.
Yeah. No, they were great. I mean, I don't know where they got the energy and where they got the enthusiasm.
Again, we got.
Yeah, I know they're half my age, so they should have twice my energy, and that's, and that is apparent. But no, they're delightful. I really enjoyed their company. So I'm a big fan on both fronts now. A fan of the show and a fan of them as people. They're awesome.
And Cody and Mopar, they were great. Exactly. You mean down earth?
Exactly what you'd think from the Rogues.
Exactly what you expect, and it was nice because Cody and I were able to grab the corner of the table, and we, what you mean? Let's get an IPA. It was just you mean shoot the breeze and just what do you do? It was just nice to kind of, because again you see everybody on these shows, and then there's a persona that everybody has to carry, a professionalism, and we're trying to now. But you're catching us at the end of 4 days of just absolute mayhem and tiredness and emotion. So it was really cool that everybody can just talk. And now we have friends all over the States.
It's cool. So let's wrap it up with highlights from the whole con then.
Okay.
Was for you, what would you say was your highlight?
My highlights were, I can't believe I'm at Celebration.
Yeah.
Obviously, aside from the obvious of meeting yourself and the rest of the Commonwealth, which was because we talk every day on Twitter, and then now here we are, and so you got these lifelong friendships that are made. But as far as the Star Wars stuff itself, for me, it was the droid builders. We're going to touch more on that later. We got some other stuff coming down the pipe. You just wait for Talk Star Wars stuff more. We got something more coming. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. So the droid builders were awesome. The cosplay was just phenomenal. You think we talk about Star Wars 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times a week, and you think we're passionate. Like it's unbelievable. The fandom was fantastic. To see people see something or even see a toy that they've wanted forever, or they just got an autograph from somebody they've wanted to meet forever, and to see the emotion on their faces is something. It's awesome. And again, I'm not an autograph guy, and I don't need to find that exact toy. Like anything I wanted, I found throughout the years. And to see other people, they travel all the way here, they finally get that last autograph, and it's like there's so many. Remember Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, he's Canadian. So he's. So everybody's passion and how you just see what it means to him, and to see what you guys do at Talk Star Wars and everybody else around the Commonwealth, and my little part in on it. It's nice to be this conduit for them. It's nice to be this thing. We're until the next trailer drops. There'll be people tuning in to us. Well, look at our trailer reactions.
Yeah.
All the there's VIPs that had our trailer reaction. It's great. So other than it's just, I think, tired but awesome weekend. I was hoping they would announce the next one. Of course they didn't. And but either way, when they do, I'm going.
Yeah, I think I got mixed feelings about whether or not it's productive for me to do the con in person, because I didn't get to cover it as closely as I would have liked to on the site.
Well, you mentioned that again, that tapestry thing. We were seeing everything. We were too close to the fire.
Up close, and it's just that wasn't helpful. And if there was more, if I had more in the way of contributors on the site, then that would be great, because that close-up and personal perspective from the floor would be perfect, and it would complement the people that are covering it from a distance, and they can cover every panel, because all they've got to do is create a playlist and click play, and they will see everything. But whilst it's really just me doing the lion's share on the site, then being on the floor at these cons is not practical. But I loved being there. I was deeply moved by the Carrie Fisher tribute.
Oh yeah,
so emotional, and everybody in the place was emotional. It was palpable. That was a personal highlight. I loved meeting everybody from the Commonwealth, and I loved meeting the odd VIPs that we came across. It was brilliant. I loved the fact that guy said he knew who we were when I just popped out the card. That was amazing. And the Last Jedi trailer.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's all this celebration really had to deliver. With it being the 40th, recognising George and his genius was great. Looking at The Last Jedi was absolutely necessary, and setting up the next Star Wars Rebels.
Absolutely, and again, I know we keep saying it and beating dead horse, but like, to be in there and watch it and then turn, and didn't matter who you turn to. I'll turn and look at you, and then there's people we don't know, and they're like, just what do you think? It's like immediate. It's like all of a sudden Twitter was live.
Yeah.
And it just all the tweets and the barrages were actual real voices around, and it was just it was awesome. And again, I know we're tired and we got this euphoria, and we're gonna go home and life will go on, and we'll be regular Joes. Regular Joes.
Speaking of which, so this week's episode obviously isn't the regular, and it is a bit of a patchwork of us cobbling together different recordings from different equipment in different locations with different people. So thank you for being patient with that. Next week we are going to get back to the regular, regularly scheduled programming. So the podcast next week will definitely be an in-depth look at the trailer with the guys. So if you want to get your opinions on the pod, send your emails and voicemails. It'd be great to get voicemails, get some of those opinions live into the show. Send them to me by midweek, so I can have them ready for when I get together with the guys on Thursday and record, and we'll do that. And that will probably be all that episode is about. Yeah. I would think will be a trailer breakdown.
And don't forget, if you're not a VIP already, become a VIP before May 25th. Get in the draw for the Black Series Luke X-Wing. We looked on eBay. These things are minimum $100 American. Plus, you got to get it to wherever you're living.
Yeah.
And we're giving one away to a VIP.
Yeah, and if you are the winner, be prepared to be a guest of honour on a round table.
Yes. There you go. So it's a win-win. You get
win-win.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's a dues or is it a win.
You might have to do some work to earn your X-Wing. Right, that's it from Star Wars Celebration Orlando 2017. Thanks for your patience, and we will speak to you on episode 66. Later. Talk Star Wars is a proud member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Find us at StarWarsCommonwealth.com alongside
the Tumbling Saber Podcast,
the Generation X-Wing Podcast,
the TSW Roundtable,
the Skyhoppers Podcast,
and the Nerd Room Podcast.
Head to StarWarsCommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world.
It's
a wrap!
It's a wrap.
Let's talk about Loot Crate. Are you on a quest for epic gear, housewares and collectibles? Loot Crate offers an epic range of pop culture items for less than $20 per month. Whether you're shopping for the geek in your life or you are that geek, Loot Crate is the best surprise you know is coming. Every month there's a different theme and new and exclusive items that you can only get with Loot Crate. Treat yourself every month or give the gift of geeking out to a friend or a loved one.
You have until the 19th at 9 PM Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cut-off happens, that's it, it's over. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/TalkStarWars and enter the code TalkStarWars and save $3 off your new subscription today.
Day one was Rogue One, and I think the first one was Mark Hamill, and then in the afternoon I think it was Rogue One. And we got both of those panels and didn't get time to do anything else all day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's all we did. We got there and we got our wristbands, we queued to get in for hours, and then when we got in, we had a quick look at the Rogue One costumes, because they had all of those on display, and then we had to rush to queue up for the Mark Hamill. Then we did the Mark Hamill panel, came out, queued to Subway, had time to just eat a Subway, and then had to go and start queuing for the afternoon panel, which was Rogue One. Then when that was done, we came out, collected our posters, and that was it.
It's over.
It was the end of the day.
Wow.
That's another thing I guess I'm kind of excited about, is just as a person who likes making costumes and props, I'm curious to see if they're going to I don't know if they're going to put any of the Last Jedi stuff out yet, but I would imagine they would, and just seeing that stuff would be pretty cool.
This is another reason why I think they'd have to drop the trailer as soon as possible, because we haven't seen anything yet, have we?
Yeah, no, we've only seen that box art.
That box art
where
for
they
toys.
look basically the same.
Exactly
I still can't get over how everybody freaked out about that box. Like, we were talking about it on Skyhoppers, and I was like, okay, we're all talking, this is a box. This is the packaging for a toy, not the toy itself. I just couldn't get over it.
It did reveal that she's clearly Qui-Gon Jinn's granddaughter.
Of course, yeah, clearly.
That's a huge reveal, Ash.
Yes.
Don't sell it short.
I think that's more of a huge leap.
That was the first I went on Tumblr, is a nightmare sometimes. The first thing after they released that box art, I go on Tumblr, and somebody's already posted, well, clearly she's related to Qui-Gon Jinn now. I'm like, okay, I guess hair means that they're related.
Well, I don't have hair, and I'm not related to Lex Luthor or Mace Windu, or
that you know of.
That I know of. No. So, yeah, I think that's just people looking far too much.
I think everybody's just like, we gotta know who Rey is, so let's take extreme leaps. You know, I think that's where people are at. Because you didn't get a whole lot about her in Episode 7, so people are like, okay, who can she possibly be? They set up the mystery.
That's one of my favourite things about these new saga films, is that we really don't know anything. And it's so refreshing to be in a Star Wars cycle where we don't know anything, because the last 3 movies, we knew where they were going. Anakin becomes Darth Vader. You know what happens.
I think, and that's, I've heard the question, I think Tumbling Saber did that, would you rathers, or if you could watch every Star Wars movie now that's going to be coming out right now today, you mean, like, or let's say if we could all sit down and watch Last Jedi right now, the 3 of us, would you want to and lose out on what we do pretty much all year round, like all the discussion and the excitement of opening night?
Yeah, I mean that's a really.
Of course, if it was right here, I'd probably watch it and then regret. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy.
Regret it. Yeah.
Regret it. But and then every podcast be like, oh, do you think Rey's gonna do this? And you're like, I'm not saying. Like that's all you would have no.
It's like, I'm not saying Luke is Rey's daughter, but I'm not saying.
Exactly. You would have no. You couldn't contribute to anything anymore.
No, that's right. No, I'd like to see it with. In step with the rest of the
Of course, yeah.
Because it's bad enough that last year with Rogue One I saw it a couple of days ahead of you
guys.
Yeah. Because it was biting my tongue not to say too much.
Man, I went in, I saw one trailer for Rogue One, I think. And it was the one that we covered on the podcast, because I was like, I don't want to know anything about it. I didn't even know Sheridan Baze's name until I saw the thing.
Right.
And it got spoiled for me from somebody in the UK who saw it a day early and sent me a text that said, hey, did you watch Rogue One? It's really good, but it's really sad they all died, right?
What?
And I got The Force Awakens spoiled for me in a comment section. I was watching a Stephen Colbert video, and I went down, and I scrolled down through the comment section, and it went, Han Solo dies by his son Kylo Ren. And I was like, are you kidding me?
That's just appalling.
Well, can you? And that's it. I remember distinctly messaging you, Mark, when Rogue One was coming up. I was like, oh, just to let you know, remember, we don't get it for another few hours, so just like let us know, or if you're gonna post stuff, or or you set up the safe place.
Safe place to talk. Yeah, I think it was Stacey asked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was getting a little bit too risky.
That's honestly one of the things I appreciate the most about Star Wars specifically, is because, it just reminded me the new Spider-Man Homecoming trailer kind of revealed a little bit more than I would like it to, and trailers have this bad habit of doing that lately. But with like Rogue One and The Force Awakens especially, they didn't really reveal anything. And Star Wars is very secretive.
Well, Rogue One wasn't even the same footage. For the most part.
No, it's like about 10% of it.
I saw a thing on Twitter the other day. It's like, why is everybody freaking out about The Last Jedi trailer? Only 50% of what you see in it is going to be in the final cut of the movie.
They can't get this. We're so unforgiving today. We're all over the place with this podcast, aren't we?
Yeah.
A little bit.
We're so unforgiving as an audience and as a fandom today that they can't get away with these sins. And I think everything about that will be the same.
Yeah, of
without
course.
the actually being in the panel business. We'll be somewhere, I think there's a Galaxy stage, and you can go and you can watch the panel live on screen.
Yeah.
So if we can't get into the main hall, that might be the thing to queue up for the bands to get that.
Oh, absolutely.
So at least we see it as it happens.
Yeah, and again, it's not. By all means, this has been amazing. Like I think, especially for Mark and I, like we're in a foreign country to us. So it's a huge there's and for me, I live an hour north of Buffalo, New York, but the subtle differences are very glaring to me.
I mean, Orlando is a lot different from New Mexico too, so I'm feeling to a much lesser extent, but it's still there.
Yeah, I think there's probably more Brits per square inch here than you've ever seen before in your life.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of accents.
Every other person that came in that restaurant tonight was a Brit. I could tell from the football shirts. And the gang tattoos.
So out of that, what are we all looking forward to tomorrow? Aside from, let's put the panel aside and
ladies first, Ash.
You know what? If we can't, if it works out that we can't get into the 40th anniversary panel, my silver lining to this is that Timothy Zahn's doing a signing at the same time tomorrow at the Del Rey booth. So if I can meet Timothy Zahn and have him sign something for me, it won't quite make up for this, but it'll be close enough, I think.
That's good. I'm glad you got a fullback because I have no fullbacks. I was talking to someone on one of the Talk Star Wars listeners on one of the social platforms. I can't remember what because my brain is literally mush today. But the conversation was, what else are you looking forward to? And I said, I'm not looking past the 40th panel on one day, The Last Jedi on the next day, Rebels, and then the closing ceremony. Right. Everything else hasn't even popped up on my radar. I couldn't even tell you what the rest of the schedule is.
It's just in my personality to have contingency plans for everything. So I was like, okay, I can't get in here because I figured we might not be able to.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll do this,
Yeah, it was, again, for me, it was, I had it in the back of my head. Once we started getting the news about sleepover, oh boy. And then, well, I almost mentally prepared for it. I was really prepared to, okay, we're going to come, we're going to sleep over, okay, that's fine, we're going to line up. But just because we had that, can you imagine not knowing?
Yeah.
And then us hopping off the plane and running down to the convention center and then seeing that.
Yeah.
And like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, that's the lineup. Oh, for what? For tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It'd still be amazing, though. We're still here. This is still something that's, I've been looking forward to for a really long time. This is a bump in the road, a pretty big bump.
That's an unfortunate loud noise, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
The HVAC.
Yeah, this is weird, too, because we're not recording with our own...
Yeah, not recording with microphones and screens separated.
Yes, and headsets.
Yes, and headsets and,
Okay, so predictions for tomorrow, then. What do we think? Let's do a quick round table. What do we think we're in store for tomorrow? Whether we get to experience it firsthand or not.
Oh, it'll be firsthand. We'll just be in the other room.
Yeah.
Just pretend, you know what, while it's going on, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And, I was there, I was just in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we might get a Last Jedi trailer tomorrow. It seems to be kind of what everybody's been saying. I don't know about that, though. We're going to get some kind of news at that 40th anniversary panel, a new animated something or a new movie maybe. Maybe they'll announce an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, who knows.
That's a good point, because they've made a big deal out of saying don't miss it, haven't they? Whether you're there or you can be near a screen,
right?
Do not miss it.
Well, and also they're bumping up their YouTube numbers too, I think.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss this, and then...
Yeah, I mean, they've been tweeting about it constantly lately.
Yeah.
Just like... And they did the Star Wars show thing, the YouTube channel was a Star Wars show thing.
Yes.
And they were pimping it out there and trying to get people to, listen to it live.
That's the last time I saw it was that today?
I think it was today, actually,
The one I saw last week, they did it as well. They
did it as well,
Do not miss it. And that's when I started thinking, this has to be big, because initially I thought, it's George. And then I saw Harrison had gotten a flight in to Orlando, so I thought, oh, well, it's Harrison and it's George.
Right.
I thought maybe Ewan as well, and then I thought maybe announcements, but it has to be.
I heard that Ewan McGregor got a flight in as well the other day.
Well,
I heard it from somebody. Maybe, I don't know.
Surprised me.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those, it's hard to say, because all these people could be here and Hayden Christensen, and all these people could be here just for the fact that they were a part of Star Wars somewhere down the line, and they're just here to celebrate the 40th. But, Star Wars fans, we like to, they might be,
there is a lot of that in there in this fandom, but I do think there's more to it, because they have said, some outlets said, you've waited 40 years for this.
Yes.
And I mean, I can't imagine they'd bring out, Kathleen Kennedy and all those people to do this big thing. Kathleen Kennedy's probably a busy person.
Yeah.
Right? I can't imagine she's...
It's the watered down version. It's the one cow diet alternative to
that
I experienced.
Well, we're learning America doesn't do anything small.
That is true. As an American, I can attest to that. As an American from Texas, I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah. So, on a scale of 1 to infinity, how desperately disappointed are we?
I think we were joking before we sat down here tonight. We're like, well, this is going to be some podcast. We're very, very
tired,
down in the dumps, and then you're disappointed and trying to be the optimistic or the look on the bright side. Yeah, we're all here and we're all enjoying our time. It hasn't been a waste. It's getting over that. Oh man, I want to be in that room.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not I'm disappointed, but I'm not gonna go cry about it or anything like that. I mean, it does suck. I mean, it really just, there's no other way to put it. It really sucks,
But I was talking to somebody this morning on the plane, and they were going, "Oh, this is crazy. You're going to line up all night." And I said, "You know what? Actually, it's kind of okay, because if you're a big enough fan, this is one of those things that didn't separate the people. If you're here, and if they were selling these wristbands, you can see people going online. Oh, well, I got money. I'm going to buy 10 of them, and then I'm going to make money off it, or I'm going to." I'll go just because I can afford to throw away money. Now you're having fans, regardless of, it's not like they came here this weekend, they bought their tickets for celebration, and now if they're just diligent enough, they can go see the big panel. It's not exclusive. It's not, so that's nice. We weren't as diligent as.
Yeah, but I mean, we went for dinner, didn't we? And was it Dan Solo sent you that message?
Yeah.
Or was it you, Rob? Someone sent a message saying there was 200 people.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine from high school, from way, way, way back when, and we haven't seen each other in years, but we saw on Facebook, oh, you're going to be here, that's great. So we started messaging back and forth, and we're in the middle of our pre-dinner beers, and they said, oh, we're 200 deep already. And it was 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, it does suck, though. Hopefully we'll have better luck with The Last Jedi and other stuff like that. Hopefully.
Yeah. But we are going to try tomorrow morning. We're going to get up nice and early. We got to get Mark has to get his media passes, and we're going to go, and we're going to...
Yep.
Why not? Give it a go.
Yeah, we'll definitely aim to get into the show anyway. I mean, It is disappointing for me, and I might actually cry about it, Ash. Coming all this way and going to the expense of coming all this way.
Yes.
And then not even being in with a chance.
Well, I think the disappointing thing is it's not like we're gonna even. This is going live straight to YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, all the major panels are going to be live streamed as well.
Exactly. So we could.
They might build in a delay this year, though. After last year.
Yeah. So we're gonna. So anybody sitting at home or anybody who hasn't come is gonna see it when we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just see it on a screen closer.
Yeah.
To the.
It will be nice, I think, because it's going to be the full trailer, I suspect, as well. When it hits, whether that's tomorrow or the next.
The buzz will be great, but then also too, and it hasn't been all bad. What did you were on the plane today, or who did you meet up with Wedge?
Oh yeah, Dennis Lawson was on the same flight, and we went through immigration together. Dennis Lawson and his wife, and then we dropped somebody off at the hotel. I forget what the hotel name was, and Peter Mayhew was sitting there, outside in his chair. So
you saw Wedge and you saw Peter Mayhew, and you're.
So I'm done.
You're in Orlando. Yeah, exactly. So it's and I'm looking forward to it because we're all this excitement building up to it, and now we're here, and now we're actually in Orlando, and once we get over this little setback, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that we're all like here in the. I mean, we've known each other for a while. We've talked for a while, and I've been on various podcasts with other people in the Commonwealth. But it's been awesome just to meet you guys. And I mean, I'm getting the chance to meet my co-host, who I've never actually met in person too. So that's a good thing as well.
And the Rogues are here, and I know Jamie's around as well. And then we've got there's some Talk Star Wars listeners here. So Dan Solo's here, and Skoldron from Roku Depot, he's going to be here. Is Jay coming over?
Yep, Jay. I just found out a few weeks ago. Jay lives an hour away from my house.
Really?
In Canada, yeah.
Wow, it's such a small world.
So, we'll probably meet up here, and I mean, I could drive to his house.
Yeah. I think to me now it's going to be less about. When I landed this afternoon, I thought the way this would work for me was I'd get into these panels, and I'd experience these panels with you guys, and then we'd come out afterwards and we'd record podcasts and YouTube videos and write blog posts. This is Talk Star Wars, the official podcast of talkstarwars.co.uk.
Hey everyone, welcome to Talk Star Wars. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And we are here at Star Wars Celebration 2017 in Orlando. And this week's episode of the podcast is going to be slightly different because obviously the guys aren't with us. It's just Rob and myself.
Yes, Robcast.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. And we've been joined, well, pretty much both days so far by Ash from Skyhoppers. So we just wanted to do a brief intro to this podcast so that you understand what it's about, what you're about to hear. Because the recording that's coming next was from our first night in Orlando.
Yes.
And we're all a little bit worse for wear.
And yes.
And we just realised that things weren't going to play out quite the way we had hoped, didn't we?
Yes, but don't worry, it does get better. It's not
it's not a negative fest, but but there's a couple of moments in there where we may appear to be both tired and bummed out, but don't.
Yes, and then again, that was from we were a little punch drunk from both of us traveling internationally, and then being excited from staying up all night the night before, and then staying up all night to get into it was. Just tired. It was
very, very tired. Yeah. So, yeah. What we're going to do, or what you'll probably hear me explain this away in the clip. You'll have a full intro, which includes Ash in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to just post together a bunch of different bits of audio from the weekend, and I will endeavour to get this up on the Monday. So, if you're listening to this now, clearly I've been successful.
Yes.
And you can hear little snippets of our adventure over this weekend at Celebration. You'll probably know most of what we know from YouTube, which is unfortunate, but we'll give you our take on it from our eyes on the ground.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, right. So here we go. We're going to go back in time to day 0 when we were joined by Ash.
By Ash and tired Rob.
And very tired Mark. So get your fill of Star Wars Celebration goodness on this week's episode of Talk Star Wars.
Welcome to Talk Star Wars Celebration. I'm Mark.
I'm Rob.
I'm Ash.
And you're the... You've got to think of one on the fly.
I'm the other nerf herder on this podcast here. I think I've used that before.
Well, you can actually say you're the American on this podcast.
I am the American on this podcast, I am.
Yeah, that is true. So this is day one of our Star Wars Commonwealth trip to Star Wars Celebration Orlando.
Yes.
And so far, it's been a disaster.
I think everybody's going to be relieved knowing they're not missing out on much.
Yeah.
This evening, for starters, it's a travel day.
Yeah.
We were all up extremely early and, of course, super excited last night, so nobody got any sleep. And now we are at almost 9:30 Eastern time, and we're all exhausted. And we just visited the queue for the 40th anniversary panel. Did you want to mention?
Yeah, well, look, the reason for going, well, it was twofold, really, wasn't it? For a personal and quite selfish reason, I wanted to get my media passes so that I knew I was set for the 4 days. But also we wanted to see if we could get in and do the sleepover.
Right.
Which seemed like a surefire way to be at the front of those queues tomorrow and get to the 40 Years of Star Wars panel. But all we found was a never-ending queue of people and no way for me to get my passes, so that's going to have to be tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think I gotta say, for Americans, wow, you just, Ash, I don't know, they're diehards. It's just unbelievable.
Making me look bad.
No, they're making you look
Not
good.
making me look good, but...
So Ash, you were keen on doing the overnight,
Yeah.
the sleepover.
Yeah. Well, because I wanted to get into panels, and I figured that was the only way to do it, really. But I guess not.
Well, for some.
For some people.
For a lucky couple of thousand, it looks like.
Yeah, and it actually, because we were all prepared to do it, and we were all prepared. Yeah, I know it sounds insane, but we have traveled all this way, and when we finally got there and we realized, you know what, we're going to be so far behind, we'll be watching the video screens anyway, and we will be in the room and we'll be in the atmosphere, like in the conference, in the convention center.
Yeah.
So we'll have the vibe of, oh, did you see the trailer, or did you see the news that dropped? We just won't be in the room.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but yeah.
I'm still hoping against hope that I might get the sort of luck that I had last year in Europe, where we knew the queuing overnight was a thing, the sleepover was a thing. So we just casually rolled up 4 deep at 8 o'clock in the morning on every day and got every wristband we needed and got into every panel we wanted. Somehow. I don't know how, we got very, very lucky.
Yeah, because you're the only one here that has celebration experience.
Yeah.
But it's
like she's the CEO of Lucasfilm, so I imagine she's pretty busy. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna announce something big. I feel like it might be an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but that might just be me being overly optimistic. I think that's what I want more. So that's why I'm kind of maybe seeing things that aren't necessarily there.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I really want that, but I'm not sure that's enough. I'm not sure that's big enough.
I know what you're saying. But it could be. What was the Good Morning America? Remember their Omaze announcement?
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic announcement.
Yeah.
And it is a great cause, and what they're doing, anybody that hasn't heard, they're doing where you buy, you can enter into, you donate, and then you enter into a draw, and then you can go to Skywalker Ranch, or you can be at the premiere for Last Jedi, or be in the Han Solo movie. And it's fantastic. On its own, it's great. But because they let that news out 3 days before Celebration, it's like, oh, here comes the trailer. Here comes this. It was almost like letdown.
Yeah.
Because we hyped it up so much. It's like, oh, what's this big announcement going to be happening? And then now, it's like, yeah, it is a fantastic announcement on its own. But in the shadow of Celebration,
I kind of figured it would be something like that when they said there was a big announcement. I'm like, but Celebration's like 3 days away. So I didn't presume that they were going to do anything, really.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that because I wasn't seeing it firsthand, I was just picking it up on the Twitter feed and in the Facebook group. And I said I think it might be them announcing that the trailer is going to be at Celebration.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's all I thought it was. It's like a trailer for the trailer, or a tease for the trailer.
Right.
Like kind of what they did with the Rogue One, where they did like
Yes.
the one shot of the Death Trooper, and then
Yeah,
it's like
exactly,
trailer coming
yeah. It
next
was
week
like
or tomorrow or
11
whatever.
seconds.
Yeah.
I thought it might be something like that. Then it was the Amaze thing. But the thing I keep getting pulled back to is someone saying this is what you've waited 40 years for, and to me, I've waited 40 years to see Luke Skywalker again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah.
And you and I can honestly say we have been waiting for 40 years,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I can't quite say that, but
I've literally every time, well, since the credits roll on A New Hope, that's everything I've looked forward to, seeing Luke in action again
Yep.
in every single movie, and I know Ben would agree.
Ben would definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm excited to see Luke Skywalker too. I know I've said in the past that Luke is not my favorite Star Wars character, but I mean, without a doubt, I'm going to lose it if he talks in the trailer or we get a shot of him. You know, because you can't not love Luke Skywalker, and it really is. Star Wars, the original trilogy, is really about Luke.
Well,
more
that
so
was
than anybody else.
I can honestly say everybody in the playground was either Luke or Han,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and your sister was Leia.
Yeah.
I was Leia.
Yeah,
a
well-
lot.
Yeah.
That was just so to have this coming back, and now we know Han had his thing. Obviously, we got the Carrie Fisher stuff, like because of what's happened with her, but now everybody's laser focused on Luke. And back to the Omaze thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think Daisy Ridley is going to regret asking the winner of the Skywalker Ranch to bring her as the guest?
Yeah. Ask me.
Yeah.
That's going to wear thin really quickly.
Yeah, she's going to really not. Yeah, I'm sure she'll have no problem being asked.
I bet she's been to Skywalker Ranch. Like, she was trying to play it like she hadn't been there, but
Yeah.
I imagine she's been there.
Well, you know the Star Wars fanboys. You can imagine.
Yeah.
Your starlet says, "Please take me to Skywalker Ranch."
Yeah.
Oh.
She might have a special announcement tomorrow
Yeah.
to sort of
I
recant that statement.
I was kidding.
Yeah. Please leave me alone now, fanboys.
Yeah.
So is there like anything else besides The Last Jedi that sounds like particularly interesting to you guys? Like the Carrie Fisher tribute one. I think I'm going to try and make.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I said,
very interested in that.
there's a thing. I think it's tomorrow. It's like a Star Wars trivia show with like Chuck Wendig and Timothy Zahn. That looks pretty fun.
Ah.
So.
Yeah, and that's aside from once we get over this initial disappointment. Like the weekend is so like I know up north, like if you even on Toronto on a larger con, if you said you had that Timothy Zahn, Chuck Wendig, and then you had the Carrie Fisher tribute, that would be the only two things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now these are like, oh, is that happening too? Oh, I guess I might walk into that room. Like, and it's.
My only concern with the Carrie Fisher thing is I think I might lose it if they start.
Yeah.
They only have to play one slow motion shot of Carrie with some orchestral score, and I'll be gone.
They'll probably play the Leia theme, and that's
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of disappointing. But there's so much stuff going on at Celebration. I mean, I'm trying to be overly optimistic because that's generally my disposition about a lot of things. But.
Well, I think I said to you, Rob, yesterday when I said, we'll play it by ear, and that's not good for me because I like to know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it so that I can build it. And having the experience of it last year, I know that when I got what I wanted, that was all I got. I didn't get time to do anything else. So having two major panels a day, I think